European towns or cities have been able to preserve and convey their traditions in a manner that compares with those celebrated annually in Algemesi on September the 7th and 8th. These include rituals and reenactments in which the community comes together in unison to define its culture and identity through language, music, and dance. On these festive days, time stands still as the collective folk memory awakens and reaches back through the centuries. The origins of the celebration date back to 1247, but the procession, as we know it today, began in 1610. Street celebrations and festivities transform Algemesi into a living museum as its unique heritage envelops the city in a cloak of mysticism that conjures up a vision of times past. Every aspect of the fiesta has its ritual, and what may at first seem to be random and disorganized events eventually synchronize in perfect harmony, with each participant knowing the precise time and place where they are needed to perform. The community dances and music passed down through generations contribute perhaps unknowingly to the framework of its fiesta and the development of a unique identity. The morning of September 8th, the day of the patron saint, a second demonstration of faith takes to the streets. Known locally as the short morning procession, this traditional spectacle allows onlookers to admire and observe colors and details, which can only be appreciated in daylight. This procession, despite being the shortest, is also the most intense, the most visited, and, above all, the best loved. A climax of the festivities comes as the image enters St. James's Basilica in the town square when all dances come together in unison, and for a few short minutes an almost indescribable scene unfolds. The images speak for themselves. The spectacular Mucharanda, a continuous event since 1733, expresses a clear reflection of the strength and identity of a community which erects human towers to depict the bond of its tradition and heritage. The Mucharanga construction follows a unique formation, different from that used in other regions. On bended knees, the Mucharangas, both men and women, remain crouched until everyone is in place and supporting each other in a compact unit. The human tower is then topped off by a young boy or girl who climbs to the top and maintains a precarious equilibrium with arms held out while standing on one leg. This child at the top is known as El Chiquet, and his act is important in reflecting the collective effort and strength of the tower. El Chiquet represents the future, the youth who will pass on the tradition of the fiesta to the coming generations. Played on Delfina reed pipes and marching drum, the music La Mucharanga is the best known piece played on both instruments. The solemn melody, which is played on many instruments, is highly symbolic, and its popularity has spread further afield than Algemesi itself and has become part of the heritage of Valencia. War dances appear in many Spanish celebrations, but those in Algemesi display their own special character through their demonstration of speed and precision. Dancers adorn an elaborate costume reflecting Greek and Roman influence and move to the sound of the Delfina in more than 20 different dances and to the rhythm of numerous musical reels. The silk industry, deeply entrenched in Algemesi and the origins of its wealth during the 17th century, is reflected in this dance, which pays homage to the silk weavers. The weaving is carried out by girls who braid their coloured ribbons around a pole topped by an artichoke, which eventually opens its leaves and releases a symbolic dove in flight. The dance of Els Arquets has become one of the most popular processional Valencian dances, with girls dressed in white, a symbol of purity. In our culture, references to herding and shepherds are commonplace, with boys and girls between the ages of 3 and 7 joining in the fiesta. 2 more children take the symbolic positions of heading the dance. They represent the king and queen of the shepherds and reflect nobility and royal power. In front of the large cross, which represents the religious aspect of the procession, men and women wearing the elaborate Valencian costumes of the 18th century dance in couples to the rhythm of boleros. Mystical swordsmanship and gallantry give rise to the religious segment of the procession in the guise of el tornejants. Pages, heralded with firm but compassionate steps, start the opening of the procession, accompanied only by the dry beat of a marching drum. Following this, the knights perform 2 different dances of devotion, floretas and fuga, in groups of 6. Els tornejants also have a role in one of the most significant moments in the procession, the symbolic procession of biblical characters taken directly from the celebrations of Corpus Christi. All these rituals, reenactments and dances, both pagan and religious in origin, are as old as the beliefs and faiths that drive them through the world. The costumes are reminiscent of the Roman, Christian, Muslim and Jewish cultures that are deeply woven into the cultural fabric of this land and honor the people who created their instruments, inspired their melodies and designed their costumes. It reflects a mentality so unique and local that it becomes universal. It recalls the history, stories, anecdotes of a community which, through the years of coexistence between Christians, Muslims and Jews, has enriched itself through its religious, civic and cultural festivals. This life-enhancing treasure is commemorated in the halls and streets of Algemesi each year as summer and autumn embrace and share with us the hours and minutes of the month of September.